everybody, and welcome to another episode of You're Not My Type, Bro, a show where we talk about politics, social issues, relationships. We talk about the entertainment industry as we are based here in sunny Los Angeles, California. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a little Pride Month action.
Happy Pride!
As you can see, we have dressed for the occasion. We're bringing in the Pride season in some colorful gear. Marko has his harness, which he did not borrow from me. That is actually his. Oh, yeah.
The gay of the week, still nobody has thrown me. Just a quick throwback to episode 14 and Marko's gripe about the flag. Here we go.
Yeah! I have a question for you, though. Did you get that from home office?
Yes.
You got it from home office?
They actually sponsored it. They donated it to me right to my house because we're all registered.
Perfect, yeah.
You know exactly what I meant.
We have a microchip in us from home office.
Well, actually, when this episode airs, World Pride will be coming up. It is going to be June 5th weekend. It is going to be in Washington, D.C., and there are going to be performers like the likes of Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, Troye Sivan, Cynthia Erivo. We love her. We talked about her.
Well, absolutely. I love her.
Yeah.
I don't think she should be playing Jesus, but I love her.
I think she might be there as Jesus. This is the last time I checked.
Wait. Let me flex on that one.
Isn't the breakup Dochi going to be there?
Dochi's going to be there. Khaled, I believe his name's going to be there. And of course, you have your staples like RuPaul, Paris Hilton, Kim Petras, Sophie Tucker, Zed, and Rita Ora. Now, many of you are going to be traveling to DC to celebrate World Pride from all over the world. And so I have a very important question to ask all of you people that are traveling to DC. To recline or not to recline? On your flights to DC. Okay? Now, the reason why I asked this question is because according to a survey that was conducted by Puberty, 68% of people say they don't recline their seats out of courtesy or consideration for the person behind them. And I call BS on that. Do you recline your seat?
Nope.
No.
You don't recline your seat?
When I want to, I don't.
No, and I generally don't have the person in front of me reclining either.
Same here. Yeah.
Okay, well then, I am the 32% because I recline my seat every single time because I want to be comfortable.
Well, for me,
Bitch, fly business class. Yeah.
You want to give me some business class money?
For me, it's courtesy, one, but two, it's not that much of a recline because it just pisses me off. I'm like, is this fucking?
I would take a little bit of a recline over a no recline at all. So I'm sorry, but I'm one of those 32%.
Hey, the seats are getting smaller. I just flew back from Florida.
No, people are just getting fatter and
I'm all that too, yeah. Dude, I felt like this.
The combination of the two.
It is rough, man. It was a rough 4-hour flight.
Well, when you guys get to DC, please be sure to be safe. Know where your closest exits are because in this country right now, it's a mess. And I would have loved to go to DC for Pride.
You're not going?
No. I've never been to DC, so I would have loved to go. But I just don't think the environment, I don't think that I would feel necessarily like safe.
Really? In DC?
In DC with the person that's in the White House and the people that are around him?
Who cares?
Probably not so much.
Who cares?
Probably not so much. I mean, if I had planned it and had the money to go, sure, I would have gone and I'm sure I would have had a good time, but I would have had eyes in the back of my head looking around at all times, making sure that nothing shady or crazy was going on.
I know the question that everybody's truly asking themselves, and let's be honest, is am I going to be there? The Gay of the Week.
Are you going to be there?
In that harness?
Yeah, exactly.
Accepting your award, Gay of the Week.
Only if you put a leash on here and walk on all fours.
All right, guys. It is time for us to move into our weekly segment, Cocktails and Complaints. Salud.
Okay.
Salud.
Cheers. Stop texting your boyfriend.
No, pulling up my complaint, bitch.
Let there be peace during gay pride, please.
Not with him. There's never peace.
You won't even give me a headband. Ask for a headband so I can go all support in. But we're going to talk about gay pride.
I don't want to mess up your hair.
We're going to talk about gay pride. I'm going to let you give us your complaint of the week because I'm dying to hear it.
Yes, my complaint of the week is that I only have one complaint for the week.
Okay.
Let me pull up my notes because which one do I want to go with? Okay, this one is easy. So I went to Florida for my seaplane rating, and you know, I screwed up. I should have rented a car.
Seaplane rating, what is that?
So I can land on water.
Oh, like not like sea, but like the sea.
Seaplane rating, right? Like, yeah, it was really awesome. It was a little town in Tavares, and what I should have done really is I didn't really. It was my first time there, so I kind of thought everything was close. And we talked about it in the last episode. We're going to Planet Fitness, and I really should have rented a car. But I didn't. Okay. And so I was kind of whatever. I'll Uber here, I'll Uber there, I'll Uber to the grocery store, I'll Uber this and that, you know, $6 here, $6 there. Oh, well. It is what it is. Excuse me. So, man, these fucking air fresheners that these people use in those cars should be made illegal, and people that use them should be beaten and arrested and thrown in the El Salvador.
For you, no. People should be killed.
Yeah.
Like, there's no in between.
And I know you all agree, but dude,
because just too much.
Yeah, but dude, I'm sitting in the back, and I'm already a bad backseat driver because you know I for one I'm very insecure and I have control issues. So if I'm in the back, I feel uncomfortable because I'm not behind the wheel. Number two. The motion, the center of gravity is worse in the back because you know some people are affected by it, some not. I'm affected by it because I get nauseous. Luckily, those were only very close distances, you know, gym, grocery store. But man, you know, it's like that cheap perfume you buy on a gas station. Those air fresheners. I know you smell it, and you know what it's trying to do. But you didn't invest the money or you don't have the technology to actually accomplish that. So it smells. Yeah, you know when you smell like a cheap candle that's supposed to be eucalyptus, but it really isn't. You know what I mean? And some in the back, I'm inhaling this shit. Yeah, and you can tell the car was a smoker car too, right? And which
the combination of the two probably was like not good.
And so for this whole 5 days I'm there, I'm taking Uber 2-3 times a day, and I'm inhaling this shit, and I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking miserable. I just want to say something, but of course, I would never. You know, I'm just lucky that the gentleman has a job and he's driving me, and everybody wins. But man, I'm inhaling that stuff, and these air fresheners, people. Don't do those air fresheners. I'd rather smell somebody's BO than those.
I was going to say, would you rather eat and fart, or would you rather an air freshener in the car?
How are these air fresheners even legal? You know what I mean? So the thing is, new law from today on, you should be only allowed to buy $100 up air fresheners. None of these $3 stuff when I'm in the back.
Are there $100 air fresheners?
But like those, like Febreze, I think if it's not just like on max, because you can adjust the amount of volume that's coming out. I don't know how you measure scent. But I think putting it on max is a little bit too much, even if it smells good. It's kind of like even your favorite cologne. If you put that too close to stuff that's too much, I think that's an assault on your
But have you ever had an air freshener make you like not even sick, just like nauseous? You know,
people's cologne.
Cheap cologne is the worst.
Did you ask like for the person to roll the window down?
No, you can't because it's so embodied now in the car and
please roll your window down.
Right it's in the you know, a lot of these Ubers have cloth because I take Uber X the cheapest, I guess. They're shoving in these Priuses, you know, older Priuses, and it's all cloth. And all that stuff goes into it's like smoking. It stays in the furniture. You can never get out of it. And by the way, cheap perfume is the absolute worst. I remember when we were filming once years ago, we did that joke. We bought a $2 perfume at the gas station. Yeah. And almost everybody threw up. We sprayed it in the van as a joke, and the guy had to pull over. It was that bad, you know.
It gives me headaches.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's like, I think one of the things that it does, like immediately. Anything that has like that strong of a sense, like it just screws with you completely.
So I need your help to write to your local senator and make these air fresheners illegal because I have sincere hatred towards them, and that's my hatred of the week.
All right. Dwayne, your complaint of the week.
My complaint of the week is going to actually feed into my topic, but and I couldn't find, I thought I saved it, but I didn't. But I wanted to complain about, I think there's just a lot of backlash or not criticisms of Cassie's husband. You know, the former girlfriend of P. Diddy.
Right.
That's a complaint. That's like a full-on topic I can go into for like an hour, man. Then.
No, well, I that is going to be my topic, but I want to. There's just, you know, I like to go into the comment sections of different posts, and just depending on where that's posted, you're going to get a different demographic. And there is this like very toxic undercurrent and under certain pages where like men they were saying things like, you know, like basically, like, when she was testifying, like, he's gonna kill himself, like, this is a nightmare, blah, blah, blah.
My husband is going to kill
Yeah, because she's talking about her sexual past, and it's like, this idea that women, I mean, I would imagine in the straight world, women can get laid faster than a straight man can.
Of course, yeah.
And even though they may not talk about their body count, this idea of, like, that they have to be this virginal angel is insane. And to think that he didn't know what she went through. I mean, this man created a safe space for her, protected her. I'm sure she's confided. He did not hear about what happened to her for the first time when she took that stage. And it's just listening to all these guys who clearly are very insecure, like, kind of, like, go after him, like, how could he, like, still stay with her? It's such bullshit.
Yeah.
Dude,
And, like, and it reeks of insecurity, and that's my complaint.
He's a real man.
Yes, what he did was create a space for her where she can be soft again. He was a real man.
Right.
So that's my complaint.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, to think that women aren't supposed to be having sex until they meet you because you're the one. And in the meantime, what are they supposed to do with all that?
You know, I'm going to make
Also-
a very racist comment.
Also, how would y'all have sex if they didn't have sex?
Exactly.
I do have to say, you know, I'm a little bit lucky because I spent half my life here and half in Europe, you know, and I'm well traveled. And sometimes I give myself the privilege of using the European card, you know. And I do have to say that, and I have no problem saying this because, like I said, otherwise why be here if we're not going to be honest. I would have to say that the average, of course, I'm painting with a very broad brush here. Generally speaking, the average American man, to me, has always been the most insecure man in all the countries I've been in. The average American man.
I believe that.
You know, and I say this as a European. With no malintent, but and especially when it comes to women.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it is time for me to share my complaint of the week. And as I said a few episodes ago, because nothing has changed yet, I don't have a job. Well, at least the job that I want to have.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take a moment to have a bitch fest about virtual career events.
She's getting worse than
What? Virtual career events.
Oh.
Okay, I realize. I mean, look at how I'm dressed right now. Like,
This guy's going to be unemployed for the rest of his life.
I know. Disregard how I'm dressed right now. We're celebrating.
We said office casual.
Okay, office casual.
Call home office. Home office give you a job.
We appreciate your love of Jen and the holograms, but
1-800-LGBTQ.
I was told to join a group. It's called Out in Tech. Clearly Out in Tech. And I joined this group, and I was excited because I was going to have an opportunity to network with people in the LGBTQIA plus community, and possibly, you know, forge some bonds that would help me get into the door of some places, right? And so they were having a career fair, and I was like, oh, this is great. And it was virtual. I found out it was virtual after I signed up. I was like, it's virtual. I was like, okay, well, I'll go to it. So I ended up going to it. And basically, it's like 50 people in a room with like one person from the organization. And they're just answering questions. They're not, you know, they're not getting to really know who you are or to like, you know, discover more about you, see if you're a fit for any positions that they might have open. It's just 50 people in a room asking this person's question about their company. Mm-hmm. And so I was there for about 15 minutes, and then I was like, I'd be better off just going and getting back to the work that I'm doing. So I left. And then another one came up, and I was like, God, this was actually, these first started during COVID, which is understandable, the virtual career event. But I know COVID is not gone, but we're not living like that anymore, right?
Right.
And so the fact that every single event after that very first event has been a virtual event has really, as the old folks say, got my goat, right? Like, I'm just so... I don't know where that came from.
Really got my goat.
Yes, my goat. I'm just really irritated. It's like, because I feel like I'm a very personable person, right? So I would love the opportunity to present myself in front of someone and make that face-to-face connection as opposed to being behind a computer screen. It drives me crazy. Like, why can't we meet in person and have this interaction in person? The head office for this organization is in San Diego, but I believe that they have chapters in other places. It's like, I will drive down to San Diego if you have a live in-person event so that I can meet people in person. Why are we still doing virtual events?
So I think we might have talked about this before. I think you bitched about this a while ago. Months ago.
Yeah.
Months ago when we were thinking, maybe even a year ago, because we were talking about doing more professional network events. I think it's shifting. I do think that just society in general is still being impacted by COVID. And we've gotten, I think even like the restaurant industry has been, like if people aren't out at bars and restaurants like they used to, I think it's getting better.
Because the service sucks, for one.
Well, I think that we've gotten lazy. And so instead of just having a traditional networking event, they're just falling back on what's easier. Because it's easier just to open up a Zoom room. Yeah. But I completely agree with you. There is it's one thing, I think you could do an interview and still connect with someone one-on-one, but a networking event, you need to be in the room,
be there, man.
Mingle, and I think there might even be, I don't think you're alone in this. I like I said, I agree with you. I think there is more of a need amongst many to be in a more social environment.
What job are you looking for? What's your dream job right now?
Well, right now I'm actually working in an equity role, so I'm not making a salary, but I'm working as a mobile app developer. So the job that I'm going for is a mobile app developer. The thing about the first event that I went to, it's like I said, there's like 50 people in the room. There's one person from, let's say, I don't know, Boeing. We talked about Boeing a few episodes ago. And it's like everybody's clawing to get that person's attention to like try and stand out. But that's hard to do in a virtual, in a Zoom call, you know, because you can't be, everybody can't raise your hand. I mean, the person, they can mute, and sometimes they do mute, but like, It just doesn't have the same feel, and it just feels like such a massive waste of time to me. So I'm just begging and asking these companies if they have the resources to just like have an in-person like career event, so you can actually see the people that you want to work for your company in person. You can get a feel for them.
Not even that, but we know that those bullshit 100 questions you answer, nobody reads anyway.
Also, you know me, I'm an energy person. Energy is real. And you can kind of sense people, but like being physically around someone, you can just tell, you can read them better, and they can read you better.
You would do really great in gay porn.
I know I would do great in gay porn.
But tell like this guy.
But we're not doing that.
Okay, how long have we known each other? I always say 20. You said
20 years. It's wrong. We've known each other since probably like 2000.
I've been with Samantha for 15 years.
2004, 2005.
Okay,
because I was here, then I moved away, and then I came back.
Well, I said when you say no, I've been with Samantha for 15 years, so I've known you obviously way before that.
Well, because you're right, because Christina, I met her in, I think, 2004 when I was living in Hollywood.
And I would say 2005, 20 years.
Listen, kids, time flies.
20 fucking years.
Enjoy your life. Okay? Enjoy your life, damn.
And you always looked 10 out of 10. And I don't see why you you can dance like I did at the Abbey. I did one dancing once.
I was a go-go boy for a very short period of time. I was dancing at the Mayan downtown LA.
You must have made
it was like money. No, because it was like a straight night, and so I was dancing.
Really?
It was a straight party, and so there was 2 girls and 1 guy. There was 2 guys and 4 girls that danced during the entire night. And so 2 girls were always on at once, and 1 guy was always on at once. And we were up elevated, so nobody could touch us. So it's not like you're getting tipped out. You get like a set fee for the number of dance sets that you did.
This is for another episode, but when the guy called in, I forget his name, the manager, this is a hair lounge, not the Abbey. He came to us as a joke. Do you want to go up there? And of course, we being, young and the smoky, said, oh, fuck yeah, I'll go. And of course, gay guys know right away you're straight. So I was dancing like with, guys like
probably the way you're dancing.
Probably
the way he was dancing.
So for an hour, I'm next to these guys who are ripped and look like Greek gods, and I'm there like fucking with my cigarette. The guys are coming up. I have more money in an hour than these guys after all.
I don't know what it is about seeing a straight man dance that makes these gay men want to mortgage their homes to go to a tip.
But I remember at the hairline.
That's what I was talking about in the last episode.
True.
That validation.
Remember, we had to wear at the hairline. You had the boxer briefs, sneakers, and nothing. So everybody was kind of sexual that way. But
that is
it paid the bills.
But that is my complaint, and I'm sticking to it. All right, Marko.
Yes.
You are going to be our surprise topic today.
No.
Because I don't know what your topic is.
I like it.
So, on the fly, what are we talking about?
I'm going to stay with stupid stuff that needs to be scratched and new laws need to be made. We have way too many holidays in this country. I can't keep up. And outside of holidays, we have way too many extra days. So we have 11 federal holidays, and I want your thoughts on this. We have New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day, which is fucking useless, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, and Christmas Day. 53% of Americans agree that it's too much. On top of that, we have Mother's Day, Daughter's Day, Guitar Day, National Dog Day, National Cat Day, National Cockroach Day, National Fuck You, Fuck You Day, Fuck This Day, Fuck Him Day, Fuck Her Day. Okay, I feel like every I feel like every day I wake up, there's a freaking holiday. I've been to 50 countries. I grew up in Europe. I've never seen anything like this. It's like an excuse to close and take the day off. And why does this bother me? Because the other day, well, not all of them. I'm just saying. Yeah, no, of course, not all of them, obviously, but I'm going to the freaking bank 2 weeks ago, and I'm already barely keeping my day together with all the errands and traffic. And you guys who aren't in LA, Theo and Dwayne will confirm this. To run an errand that in a normal town will take you 45 minutes, and we need 4 or 5 hours maybe.
Not that long, but like it's long. It takes us long.
You want to go to the U.S. Bank, and then you want to go to Whole Foods, and then you want to go to like the gym and home. It's a huge ordeal, right? Just parking and traffic, right? And I'm sure I'm the fucking. And I knew it was a holiday, but I didn't. I can't keep up.
When was this?
This was like a couple weeks ago. I forget what holiday it was, and I show up at the bank, and literally I pull one of those asshole moves where the door is locked, and I'm like, oh, dude. And of course, everything's open, but because it's federal holiday, of course, the bank, the post office, and all that stuff is closed. You know what I mean? So the question is, okay, and this is actually the fun part of this topic, okay? So here are the holidays. You have to scratch 3.
Okay.
3. Okay, take a pen and paper or your notes, okay? This is kind of the fun portion of this topic. Okay, there are 11, okay? I'm going to read them to you. And the moment you hear one that you think should go, it goes.
Okay.
All right. Scream when you hear one. I want to do it in that particular way because that way you see which you didn't get to, right? So you get the whole list. All right, here we go. Ready?
We're writing this down. We're not just yelling.
No. You have to scratch 3. Okay. So the first one you hear that should go, scream.
Okay.
Say that one.
All right.
Okay. Ready. So I'm going to go in this order. New Year's Day. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day. Oh, wow. Okay, write it down. Independence Day. Will you? Okay, explain.
I think I know where you're going with that. But go ahead.
All right. Let's hear it. You got 30 seconds. Why is that?
Was it really independence for everybody that was in this country?
No.
Because you said it right after Juneteenth, and I was like, I can see it.
Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fake holiday because it's truly not Independence fucking Day.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I got no problem with that. I fully see where you're coming from with this. So we have one. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I'm going to start from the top again. So now you get to hear the list, but you haven't.
Is this all of them?
No, there would have been a few more.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Why don't you get through them?
No. Because when it's set, so now you're going to be maybe you have 3, but then you wish later you would have had, so that's kind of there's a little reverse psychology there. So again, from the top, when you hear one, go.
Can I just say one thing? A lot of these days, you get off from work. In my head,
I got a job.
In my head, I'm like, that's ironic. I'm like, So based purely on what they stand for. Okay.
Oh my God, that's a good point though. Here we go. From the top, when you hear one scream, you both have to have 3. New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day.
That one.
All right, write down President's Day. And by the way, for you who don't understand, we have been entrusted from the federal government to actually scratch these holidays. Oh. So these holidays will be gone when this show is over.
Okay, so wait a minute. So is this the combination of the 2 of us?
No. Each 3. Because I want to know. Okay. Gotcha. And by the way, I'm actually going to do a little spin. You obviously explained why Independence Day. I'm going to wait till you both have your 3 and then explain why. Okay. Each maybe 30 seconds per the one you chose. Okay, from the top. New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, Junior Day, President's Day, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day.
Columbus Day.
Oh, okay. Here. Write that down. Now you both have 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And from the top. New Year's Day. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. President's Day. Memorial Day. Juneteenth, Independence Day. Labor Day. Columbus Day. Veterans Day. Thanksgiving Day. And Christmas Day. I'm going to give it to you one more time. Now you got to pick one.
Pick a third one.
Correct. And here we go from the top. And I know you guys are loving this, watching this. It's probably super funny if you're watching this. New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, and Christmas Day. Which one goes, Dwayne?
Independence Day. So, wait, which, all 3 of them?
No, which one is your third?
Independence Day.
Okay, Independence. So your 3 are what?
President's Day, Columbus Day, and Independence Day.
Which is number 3 for you?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Awesome. So your 3 are?
My 3 are Independence Day, Columbus Day, and Thanksgiving.
Awesome. And since you started, and you'll go first, you'll explain Independence Day. Mm-hmm. Now your next one, explain that one, why, and the third one, why, and then Dwayne does his.
Columbus Day is because we're celebrating a man that came to this country and basically, committed genocide with the natives here. Mm-hmm. And why are we celebrating that? Yeah. And then Thanksgiving, didn't they give blankets to Native Americans with smallpox on them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was initially. I don't think it was intentional. I'll have to.
It's for me. Columbus Day and Thanksgiving are basically almost like one and the same type of situation, right?
Yeah.
So that's my explanation for choosing both of those, and also Thanksgiving,
you don't eat meat.
There's way of extensions to that.
I know, but when I was Thanksgiving is it's annoying because Thanksgiving is just so not too far away from Christmas, and you have to decide if you're going to go home. A lot of people need to decide, am I going home for Thanksgiving? Am I going home for Christmas? Because those are the holidays where people are you need to be with your family, da-da-da-da. So let's just do one where we need to be with our family, and let's just go see our family during the year, just as a normal thing, not just because it's some holiday where we're throwing a big bird in the oven, or some ham.
It usually causes a lot of stress.
Yeah. I don't care about ham.
And number 3?
No, that was
number 3. That was okay. That makes perfect sense. All right, Dwayne, explain your 3 and why you chose them.
All right, President's Day because not all of our presidents are good.
Right.
There's a lot of Thomas Jefferson owned slaves and.
Fair point.
Sally Hemings, all that. There's a lot of presidents that weren't great.
Okay, as well.
Columbus Day, same reason. He committed genocide, genocide in itself is terrible, but he tortured people. And kind of successfully committed genocide because I think what's that? What were their names? The Native Americans, Arawaks or something like that. They're gone. There aren't any anymore. Also, he wasn't the first person to discover America, so it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And then Independence Day, same reason. Do I celebrate July 4th? Yes, but we were not all, every American was not all free. Well, I guess we weren't considered to be American because we weren't considered to be human, but it wasn't truly independence. In fact, for us, Juneteenth was our independence, or what we celebrate to be independent.
Which just recently became a federal holiday.
Right.
So
that was not very long ago, was that?
Yeah, when Biden was out.
Yeah.
And the point of that is that those slaves didn't even know that they were free.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. My 3 are, I got rid of New Year's Day. I got rid of that. And for selfish reasons, because I haven't had a good New Year's Day in a long time. And so if I can't have a good time, nobody else should.
All right.
Yeah.
Good reason.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
At least I'm honest about being selfish. No, New Year's Day.
You're always honest about that.
Yeah. No, New Year's Day, man. I'll tell you why. No, if I'm really honest, I used to look forward to the next year,
mm-hmm.
and not that I don't now, but there's so much divisiveness that you know, back in the day, you kind of really hoped or knew there was genuinely a chance of the year being better.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's big business in keeping us divided. So, you know, it's really, let's be honest, this year isn't better than the last. Next year is not going to be better than the one before. Everything's getting more expensive. Housing's getting more expensive. Gas is getting more expensive. Crime is getting more up. Hatred's getting more expensive. Devices, embraces. There's nothing better, man. I mean, I can only speak for California. If I look at 2001 when I came to now, everything's gotten worse. I don't give a shit if you're Republican, liberal, doesn't mean nothing to me. Everything's gotten worse.
All right, what's the next one?
Number 2, President's Day.
Okay.
I have a big problem with anything self-congratulatory. I think that most presidents, I disagree with Dwayne, not a lot. I think that most have not been good.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't think so. And anything that's self-congratulatory, the president, man, bitch, it's a privilege to serve. You want to serve the public, right? So you don't need a self-congratulatory holiday for that, you know. I get the idea of it, but it just, you know, I struggle with it.
Okay.
I struggle with Labor Day, you know, Columbus Day, I struggle for the same reasons. Veterans Day, of course, has to stay. Thanksgiving, that's a tough one. You know, Thanksgiving is just too traditional for me, but yeah, I think those are the 3 for me.
What was the third one? Because you just said, like...
Oh, they're not big. So wait a second. I have President's Day.
Uh-huh.
I have New Year's Day.
Uh-huh.
I would go with... I never really understood Labor Day, so I could go with that out of a little bit of ignorance. Columbus Day for sure.
Okay, so Columbus Day.
There's 4.
Columbus Day.
Yeah. Fuck your celebration.
I can give you 6.
We're moving on.
Anyway, that was. I thought that was pretty fun to kind of see where everybody's at. Wait, which ones did you guys have the same? You got 2.
Independence Day and Columbus Day.
Yeah.
And then the one that was different is.
I had Thanksgiving, and then you had
President's Day.
President's got it. Okay, interesting. Good.
All right. That was a nice little fun break. Dwayne, I want to talk to you, or I want you to talk to us about what's in the news right now with Cassie and P. Diddy.
Well, it's not so much just what's in the news as this is, you know, and following the trial and just reading up on different things. There is a lot of, you know, backlash for Cassie in terms of, like, a lot of people victim blame. Like, why did she stay? All this, so she's, you know, she wanted to be in close proximity to, you know, wealth and fame and fortune.
You've obviously never been in an abusive relationship.
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't, you can easily tell that a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand what, like, the cycle of abuse or what a trauma bond or even like trauma bond and pimp mentality, I think, are basically the same thing. Because, you know, pimps, they typically, they go out, they groom someone. That girl is usually their girlfriend at first. Then they devalue them by abusing them. And, well, let me just jump
Don't
into
forget
this.
the mental manipulation.
I will jump right into that. So Cassie was 19 years old when she met P. Diddy. Mm-hmm. He was nearly 20 years her senior with unimaginable power, money, influence, in industry. And I think a lot of people don't. It's one thing to be in an abusive cycle, but you know, being in LA, we know people that have power that can make something happen to you.
I was Harvey Weinstein's waiter, dude.
They can, but like, you can't just leave. And we all saw what happened to her when she did try to leave in that hotel. Mm-hmm. And that she should just be lucky because she was plucked from obscurity by this mogul. But there was a much darker story, and I think people don't understand what a trauma bond is. And so, basically, you know, when a victim goes back to, let me explain the cycle. You start with love bombing, right? And so when you put someone on a pedestal, what's going to happen is a release of dopamine and oxytocin, which is the same hormones that's the same hormones of love, pleasure, and love. And so it gives them a temporary, you know, when they go back to their abuser, they're getting back that hit. It's literally a drug. So they're getting this temporary sense of relief. But when they leave, those levels crash, and what increases is cortisol and adrenaline, which are your stress hormones. So basically what she's feeling is withdrawal. And so when you see in the trial I think the defense is like, well, refer back to things, or her saying that she loves him. When she's saying that, she does feel that way because she has chemicals in her brain.
My mom loved my dad.
Yeah, but it's your body is literally, and it's that relationship is an addiction. And so, one of the trauma bond dynamic, she had control over her career finances, forced drug use, physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. Surveillance in isolations was just creepy to just be spying on people. Intermittent kindness, lavish gifts, love bombing, breaking her and then saving her. That's that cycle. That's that dopamine, oxytocin, and then adrenaline, cortisol. I just think it's bullshit that people think that she was in this situation because she wanted to be. First of all, she's 19 years old when she started. I don't care what anyone says. You're not an adult. At 41
You're so
years
easy
old,
to be manipulated.
you're so easy. You don't know
especially
anything.
as a woman.
You can be manipulated at 40, but they don't know what you're doing.
Especially when you dangle fame and you actually are so good of a manipulator to come off sincere
And how
and capitalize or
of course.
use her dreams as I've seen that in LA. I've seen it firsthand. I was a waiter.
And then you just hand over your power to them because this person is treating you well until they're not.
Correct.
And
then you're fucked. It's like a spider web.
Yeah.
It's once you're in the web, you're
and you can't get out.
Yeah.
And again, I want people to really understand. You know that show? It's off the air now. Ray Donovan.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
People like
Great
that
show.
actually exist.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Like by the thousands.
She couldn't just walk away. And I just, for me, I think that it's bullshit that people think anytime a woman who is linked to a powerful man cries abuse, that they claim, oh, well, she must have wanted it. She was getting this out of it. She was getting that out of it. I think I've talked about Erica Jane before. Remember when I honestly don't think that Erica Jane from Real Housewives, I honestly don't think that she knew what Tom was doing. But even if she did, Tom was one of the most powerful lawyers in the world. What the fuck was she going to do?
I'm going to do you one better.
What was she going to do?
I'm going to do one better because, this is such a great topic that sadly we can be all over the place. It's not just the victim; it's people around that, though. And I'll give you, I'll tell you.
Enablers are the worst.
Well, correct. For you who don't know, I was a waiter, and I have a really good waiter resume. I'm talking Polo Lounge, Four Seasons, the Ivy. I know shit that family members don't even know those people. Let me tell you something, man. And this is why Hollywood is the most satanic, hypocritical place on earth. The showbiz part of it. Everybody knew what Harvey was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me in the eyes. Everybody knew. I'm a waiter. I knew. So when Jane Fonda and all that at the Oscars, oh my God, how do we... Bitch, I'm a waiter. I knew. You knew. Everybody knew. Fucking the waiters knew. The managers knew. The fucking assistants knew. The actors knew. The producers knew. Everybody knew. Bradley even slapped it against the fucking wall.
Yeah, there was rumors.
Everybody we knew about Peter before this.
Q Wendy Williams.
Yeah. The problem is when you're making winning Oscars and getting 20 million per thing, it's hard to say something. So those are actually the real pieces of shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then of course, and then there's also this thing. I fucking grew up idolizing these people. I remember being in Europe. I want to be like P. Diddy. I want to be like Bill Cosby. I want to be like Harvey Weinstein. I want to be like a famous...
And now Smokey Robinson. Apparently.
I love that you mentioned Bill Cosby because there's a lot of people...
He came to Berkeley. I shook his hand. That was like my dream come true, man. I met fucking Bill Cosby,
as a black kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, the Cosby Show was the show.
That was it.
Did I
want to think that he did that? No.
It was the greatest
But when there was overwhelming evidence...
50 plus women?
Yes. But have you watched how some people defend him? Like, all these women didn't make that shit up. The same goddamn story.
As far as the trauma thing goes, it's very similar to a Stockholm syndrome type situation.
It is very Stockholm-like. Yeah.
It's actually...
For you who don't know what that means is when you get kidnapped and fall in love with your kidnapper in a...
You like to have positive feelings and...
So
I'll simplify it.
I looked it up. On average, it takes 7 attempts to leave an abusive relationship, which is the same number it takes to quit drugs or alcohol. Because literally... it is a chemical issue for you.
Yeah, 100%. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Peyton and I were just watching this past season of The Amazing Race, and there's this couple on The Amazing Race that made it to the top 3. I don't remember the names right now, but Jonathan and Anna, and they have 2 cute little daughters together. And the way this man was speaking to this woman, and they got it on film the entire season of this, just the disrespect. And she would just sit back and be like, "Okay, babe," like, and that whole kind of situation. And I was like, she is like captive in this relationship. Mm-hmm. She has children with this man, and now here this is being documented on television. And we're like, we hope that he goes back and he looks at this, and he probably not. But we hope that he goes back and looks at this and sees how much of a piece of shit he is and how he treated this woman.
And I've seen it firsthand, with my dad, what he did to my mom, and that Eastern European mentality, very male dominant at the time in the 80s, when you speak, wife shuts the fuck up, do your dishes and wash the laundry kind of shit, and nothing pisses me off more than when people say, well, she could have left. No. But fuck you. When you say that, it just shows how dumb and little you know. And it's funny, I never use this kind of language except for this show, so I can kind of bundle it up and vent here. But you have no first and foremost, it isn't. You don't just pick up and I'm going to go. Yeah. This is a 40-year-old woman.
Especially when children are.
Yeah, with children.
Where are you going to go? Where are you going to controlling
How are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to go to the car? And not only that, but women then believe they can. Maybe it's going to get better, and they have so much invested, and they love this person.
He says he's going to get better.
And my dad did the same shit, and then when he was drinking, it got even worse. Then he had an affair and another baby with him. And my mom, God bless her, she found another guy. Funny enough, carbon copy of Cassie that loves her. Now she's happily ever after. But you can't. It's not that simple. Yeah. If I wanted to quit the show and walk out, it wouldn't be that simple. I have emotional investment. Yes. Even if you guys told me whatever I wanted to hear to hate you forever, it's not that simple. I'm imagining in a relationship where you're so manipulated. And you're this guy's manipulating her since she's 19. Yeah.
And everything is in his hand. Dude, her career is in his hands. Like everything.
Everything. You know what I mean? And this is also the same lady from the hotel tape?
Yes. Yes. And that's another thing. It's like, did y'all not see this tape? That wasn't enough for you? Right. She was trying to leave. Look what he did.
And that's not a one-time thing.
That is the one instance that we saw. Yeah, correct. And if you watch that tape, look at how fast she drops to the ground and gets in a fetal position. Right. That was muscle memory.
Yeah, she's muscle memory. Okay.
What a fucking bonafide.
That's terrible. Yeah. Well, let's just see how this trial ends up going.
By the way,
we have a pretty good idea of how.
Before we switch topics, you mentioned something about her husband.
How they're leaving comments about the husband.
That he was weak because the sexual acts that Diddy basically forced her to have are extreme with a lot of different men. And I think the other day they released all the different male escort faces, and they were basically calling him a simp or a cuck and all this other stuff. And shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I wanted to read this quote he said, and then of course we can move on. But man, we discussed this meeting a few episodes. I get emotional nowadays more than ever. He said this quote, man, and I know nothing about her husband, but this just made me almost cry. He goes, because again, they attacked him, I guess. So why would you be with some blah, blah, blah.
Cassie saved Cassie.
Right, exactly. He goes, I did not save Cassie, as some have said. To say that is an insult to the years of painful work my wife has done to save herself. Cassie saved Cassie. You gotta be a fucking man's man to say that about your wife. I mean, that is just, I know nothing about the guy, but I hope they, apparently they found love and they're together.
She was 8 months pregnant. So with their third child.
Well, that's a good place to be, I think. Because we're about to go into some territory that I think needs to be discussed.
Ooh, I like it. Where are we going?
It's not
my sexy breast?
Yeah.
Wait,
breast or chest?
Breast.
I should shave. Wait, you're shaved, right? You're shaved?
I don't need to shave.
Oh, you don't grow hair? You're a fucking asshole. If I don't shave once every 6 weeks, I look like an ape.
All right, well, on that note, we are there. I'm just gonna start the topic. I think when I start, you guys will know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I'm glad to be the person to inform you because this is absolutely disgusting. So, in mid to late April, there was a video showing a white woman who identified herself as J.Lo Hendrix hurling a racial slur at an autistic 5-year-old black child on a playground in Rochester, Minnesota, which is about 90 miles south of Minneapolis. Wow. The video has garnered millions of views, and the incident was reported by a bystander. I can't say his first name, so it's Mr. Omar. He confronted her about her language, and she reaffirmed her use of the slur. We know what slur it was, obviously. She made obscene gestures and defended her actions by alleging that the child had taken items from her son's diaper bag, and then she doubled down.
Double down, calling him the N-word?
Yes, she said. The guy's like, "How can you say that word?" And she said it. She said it repeatedly. Since the video has gone viral, Hendrix says she's received threats and is raising money to relocate her family. So she went to a crowdfunding page. It's a Christian platform. Let me say that again. It's a Christian platform called Give, Send, Go. And she has raised over $785,000 since she posted on that crowdfunding page. And I just want to read to you what she posted. She said, "My name is J.Lo, and I have been put in a very dire situation."
How old is this bitch?
I don't know, but looking at the video, she looks to be like she's in her late 20s.
Oh, that young?
Yes.
Oh my God! I thought you were talking like some 70-year-old and shit. But I'm like, just let her die off. Who cares?
No,
You're talking young?
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s.
Ooh, that changes everything.
My name is J.Lo, and I've been put into a very dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was.
Wow.
Another man who we recently found out has had a history with law enforcement proceeded to record me and follow me to my car. He then posted these videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil. My social security number has been leaked. My address and phone number have been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not be going back to school. Even where I exercise has been exposed. I'm asking for your help to assist in protecting my family. I fear that we must relocate. I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. Her children don't deserve this. We have been threatened to the extreme by people online. Anything will help. We cannot and will not live in fear. So that's what she posted on this Christian platform. She's raised over $785,000 since posting, and since has increased her goal to $1 million. That is now her goal. The fundraiser attracted support from far-right and white nationalist circles, leading Give, Send, Go to disable the comments section due to offensive content. And in response, the Rochester NAACP launched a separate fundraising campaign for the family of the 5-year-old boy, raising over $320,000. The organization condemned Hendrix's actions and highlighted the need to support victims of racial abuse. And I went to go look at the paper. I got the bio that she put up there, the description. And I was just seeing people that were donating. Everybody's anonymous. Every single person is anonymous.
Of course.
And also, because I was curious, because now she's raised her goal to $1 million, I went and I was like, what is the cost of living? Let's say, okay, she's going to leave Rochester, I assume. Let's say she goes to another town that's similar to Rochester. The cost of living in Rochester is generally considered to be slightly lower than the national average. So what do you need $785,000, now $1 million for? What do you need that money for?
She's playing the victim.
So I guess obviously I want to know what you guys think about that, but I think more so the topic is the use of that particular word. And this is probably going to be another topic on another day. Because my personal belief, and I know a lot of black people feel differently about this, I think maybe there's a divide. I don't think anyone should use the word. I don't think black people should be using the word, and I don't think white people. I don't think anybody should be using the word.
White people definitely should be using it.
Especially not in this way. Yeah. Now there's like, okay, so there's the hard R and then there's the A. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the A is okay, the hard R is not okay. Like it shouldn't be said at all, in my personal opinion. What do you guys think about that? I said what I said. I stand firm on that.
Mm-hmm.
When there's friends of mine that are black, they'll when they say that to me, it always catches me out of left field because I don't speak like that. I don't talk to people like that.
I never heard you say that word.
I don't say the word. I don't say it because words have power. Right?
Yeah.
And people want to say, oh, it takes power away when you use it. No, it doesn't. I don't feel like it does, personally speaking.
So, okay, I'm going to answer that. I have used it. It's not something, I don't think you've ever heard me say it before.
No.
It's not something that just rolls off my tongue. But I do think, let's take it outside of black folks and other derogatory words. Like, I've heard gays call each other silly faggots. I don't know if I can just say that. but or other, like, women call each other bitches. But if you're a male and you don't know her like that, I know sometimes gay men talk to their girlfriends like that because there's an understanding. But if you just walk up to a woman and you don't know, don't call her a bitch. She doesn't know how to take that. So I do think that if you're within a certain group and there's a derogatory word, that usage within that group, I'm not going to police it. I don't really care. I do think that I just think it's, abhorrent that she called. First of all, why are you talking to a child?
Right.
A child in any derogatory way, like,
and a child that is not yours.
That's not yours. Like, I can see, if I had a kid that were 5 years old and they were doing something wrong, an adult caught them to, like, telling them to stop. But to yell and to use something or to swear at them. Just don't talk to somebody's child like that. And the fact that she feels entitled to not only use, to yell at someone's child, but use something that's actually terrible, then cry victim. If you cared about your family, then maybe you wouldn't have doubled down on saying that when someone was videotaping you. You're using this, it almost seems like it's contrived. Like, maybe she did do it out of anger, but it seems like it's almost like it seems like bullshit. Like she's doing it for the money. One thing I wanted to point out, though, is that the family of the little boy, they asked to close.
Yes, they did. Mm-hmm.
Where she is.
She's still collecting.
They're the victims.
Yeah.
They have asked to stop the donations.
Right.
And she is collecting money.
Right. Raise the goal.
She's a piece of trash.
Yes, she is.
I get what Theo says. in this, I grew up in Switzerland. In the Serbian culture where I'm from, we also have like that N word, and it's mostly used in comedy. Like black people use it in comedy. And so there's a little bit of that reverse psychology. You can't take that away because it's such a part of that culture of that comedy, and almost in an innocent way, them wanting to keep those words alive. I never feel comfortable around that word ever, and I get it why you can't take it away from that, but I'm also with you on I wish they wouldn't use it either,
right? Because
I have so many friends that they're like use that N word as a joke to each other. My black, they're like, shut up, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like in a playful way. Right. And to them, of course, it's harmless. The F word, that can be used in a reverse psychology way from a place of love, because a lot of my friends use that between with their boyfriends. Like I remember my friend Dave when he came out.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah. But you can put a spin on it. You can't put any spin on the N word.
Within black people, we feel that we can, and it's sometimes that word can, if you are black, it's used in a way, and I don't know how to explain it, but there is just this. Not only is the word just kind of ingrained in black culture, so whether how you feel about it or not, it's not going away, but there's just, and I think, and as a black person, even though I don't use the word, I have used it, and I'm not going to say I wouldn't use it, especially if I'm around other black people. There's just an understanding of it. There's actually a good clip where there's this a Christian comedian. She's doing a podcast, and her weight falls. and just a Christian, her comedy is clean and it's Christian oriented, but it's between two black people, and she just looks at him and she just says the word, and he dies laughing because he just knew what she meant, and so I don't have a problem. I understand how it could be confusing, but I don't have a problem with black people. Just like I don't have a problem when other people from other minority groups or different demographics use derogatory words typically used against them between each other.
Yeah, it's just such a shame in closing, that it's, man, that a 20-year-old finding herself in an environment where she's empowered to, like, talk like that, and then the fact that it's a kid,
An autistic. Obviously, she didn't know that at the time, but that doesn't matter. It's a 5-year-old child.
Exactly.
She didn't care.
Of course she didn't care.
It's stunning, man. I mean, the lack of any kind of understanding is just stunning to me. You know what I mean?
And it's like the fact that, she has gotten over $785,000 because of this.
It's stunning, man.
That many other adults condone her, not just hurling that word, but just abusing a child. Because, and this is the thing that I think pops out to me. It's like, I feel they think that she's justified in that. And they don't view that child as a human child, like it's subhuman.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The fact that she actually, you only say that if you don't think of the other person anything even close to equal, right? There's not. It's mind blowing. It's just in 2025.
In 2025, wow. That's what's happening in towns like Rochester, Minnesota.
Wow.
Man. All right. Well, this is our Pride edition. As you can see, we're all dressed
all night long.
And so...
How do you sleep with yourself for? Their mattress by mattress.
Why?
Funniest commercial ever.
Let's try to end this on a high fun note. And
keep in mind, he's the gay of the week.
Yeah, I'm the gay of the week. I have to listen. Whoever wins the gay of the week has it for 3 weeks, right? I got to enjoy the last week potentially, and if I repeat, I mean, we got to have something from that one. If the other people lose, they got to do something.
All right, enough about gay of the week, because we are bringing back one of our most talked about segments.
Ooh, what is it?
You guys remember? Yas, Queen.
Oh,
yes. This is the Pride edition. So for those of you that don't know this segment, this is the segment where we present new trends in fashion and pop culture, social media, and news, and we give our opinions and thoughts on them. And we debate if it's embraced by the LGBTQIA+ community, which is
dressed for the occasion.
Yes, Queen. Or if it's not embraced, it's a pass, it's out of touch, it's problematic, and that equates to a no, bro.
All right.
So I have a few of them here that I want to test out on you guys and get your opinions. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right. So the first one is bringing a fan to Pride and using it like punctuation. Clack, 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 clack.
No, bro.
No, bro.
Okay. No, bro.
Because most people, they're not, again, they don't have rhythm. So they're just destroying the show. And maybe they have rhythm, but
they're annoying.
Maybe at 4:00 p.m. on Pride Sunday they don't have rhythm anymore. And then they're not conscientious of who's around them. Have you ever had one of those things clap right in your ear?
So annoying, dude.
Okay, so I'm on the fence with this one because I remember there's this one party that I was at. This guy had a whistle and a flag. And he was just blam, blam, clack, 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 going along.
Talking to the exception of one guy that probably studied
the music. I mean, obviously he was a circuit queen, so he knew all the beats, right? But like, I was just like, okay, get it. Like, it was good. I loved it.
Well, you gotta pick one.
Yeah, queen.
You're on the wrong side of the issue again.
I might be on the wrong side, but I love it.
It works sometimes.
It does.
Annoying.
So that's a no, bro. Yes,
bro.
queen. All right. All right. So here's the next one: wearing a full rainbow outfit.
Okay, I'm gonna say just yes, because I am. A softened, just yes me.
What?
Not even yes, but just yes. Because especially if it's Pride, I feel like, fine, go out there, and even like Pride Sunday, like it can be as ridiculous as you want to be. Just from a fashion standpoint, though, it's just never works.
It never works.
And it's too many colors. I appreciate the flag itself, but as apparel, no one looks good.
It is absolutely fashion-wise horrendous. It never looks right. It never looks cool. But the greatest thing is that you can do you and be yourself, and therefore, I say, yeah, queen.
No.
What?
Give it to us like you mean
That's
it.
a Scandinavian game.
Okay. Yeah, queen.
Wait, don't do that. Oh, shit.
Yeah, queen.
All right, Elon.
I'm gonna need you to get it like you mean it.
Like, yes, queen. Yeah, I hate it fashion-wise. I want to say that though. I'm with you on that. But man, the whole point is you do you. So especially during Pride Week, absolutely.
Okay. Number 3, going to Pride but leaving $0 in
No, bro.
No, bro.
I can't believe you asked me.
I mean, I have to ask the question because not everybody out there, not all of you, like to put money in the jar. So,
Dude,
I had
do
to
you have any fucking idea? I work those events as a bartender, and do you have any fucking idea how hard we work during Pride?
12-hour days. 15
Dude, I was 23 years old at my full stamina, and I came home shaking for 2 days. and by the way, those aren't one shift; those are usually triple shifts.
Yeah.
Definitely a no, bro. That's brutal.
If you're not leaving a tip, don't show up, man.
No, bro.
Are you kidding me?
If you don't have enough money, if you have enough money to like go and buy drinks but not tip, stay your ass at home.
No.
Thank you.
And those are the workers you want to tip.
Yeah.
Unlike the self-serve shit, where we explain, no, bro.
No bros across the board. All right. So, moving on. Brands rainbow washing before Pride event starts. What do we think about that?
Explain that to the viewers what you mean by that.
Okay, so when Pride season rolls around, June, July, later in some places, brands will, but generally during the summer, during that time, brands will put rainbows on everything, like rainbow packaging on Mentos, rainbow packaging on, mortgages. I don't know.
Dwayne.
They just have a lot of commercials and things. Okay, so yes, it's superficial, but I'm all for representation. So even if they're just doing it because they're gay baiting and they want our money on Pride, I do think there's something to be said for them showing support, even if it's just from a capitalist standpoint. Because the more representation there is, the more that it shows up in other ways that are more, not as overt. Where you have this couple on a TV show that just happens to be gay or lesbian, and that's not the storyline. That's just a couple.
Yeah. And you?
Had I said yes, it'd be for that reason. I'm going to say no because I hate nothing more than corporations that are, where it's is it insincere? Is that what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's insincere. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me you love me on Valentine's Day. If you support throughout the year, you know what I mean? And I hate fake. And so I'm not saying no because of not being for them doing it. Like I said, it does actually inadvertently help. But I know that all they care about is stock and their stockholders and raising up. And so it's insincere, it's fake, and they're doing it because they have to do it rather than genuinely being your.
Yeah, they're expected to.
Correct, exactly. If it's not sincere, dude, I hate nothing more than inauthenticity. I would respect you more if you said, no, we're not going to do that because we don't support the LGBT. I can respect that. But when I know it's fake, like I know Apple, of course, supports LGBT, so when they do it, it's obvious, right? But let's say there's a company that you clearly know they're not and they do it that day, that rubs in the wrong way because I feel that's almost like more anti than not doing it. But that you see where I'm coming from with this?
In the beginning I was with you, but then I kind of got on there with Dwayne as far as of course, representation being important. And some of those companies that do the rainbow washing, during the year, sometimes you'll see they'll have commercials and stuff, and they'll be same-sex couples or something like that. So they're doing it throughout the year, but they're really going for it during Pride and showing that they truly are allies. Supposedly.
Now you're the ally, because it's going to make you money.
So that's a yes. It's going to make you money. So that's a yes for you.
Money makes the world go round. That's
I'm going to say a soft no, bro, for calling them out on being hypocrites. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say yes.
But yes, for the reason you would have said. Yeah.
All right. So next one is half-naked men dancing on Pride floats. Yeah. Dance.
Is that a real question?
You're not going to have dudes dancing on the gay Pride week? Is that even legal?
Well, look, I feel like some gays are just why are you up there doing that? Like some gays are like that.
What?
They get upset about seeing the gay guys dancing on floats because they think it's like too much. Some of them do. And
I don't know them.
I'm
just joking.
I know some of them.
I
do know some of them, yeah.
Really?
And I do.
I do too. Yeah, I know a lot of gay guys who are like, hey.
Yeah, your friends that don't like the flag in Pasadena.
Yeah,
Your friends.
Well, no, I know a lot of friends.
I can't imagine anyone going to like a
Well, they just don't go. They just don't go.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just don't go. But I will say it yes again, one more time. Yes, queen, dance on that road.
Dance away, baby.
All right, so the last one. Straight men working gay pride events in a sense gay baiting.
I don't care. Yes, please.
Yeah. So you like when straight men work the gay pride?
I don't think that if they're working, I'm there to be there for the event. Mm-hmm. So if you're working, then you're just a worker. I don't think that they should. I don't think that they're like gay baiting.
I think they're gonna.
How are they gay baiting?
Because they are giving the perception that they are gay.
But are they going to go home? Like, if they were gay, are they going to go home with somebody? Like, they're working.
I feel like that's the issue with gay guys not giving it like a no, bro. They're like, well, there's no possible way that I'm going to get to sleep with you because you're straight. And I'd rather there be someone that's working that's gay because in my mind I could potentially go home with that person. And that's the mentality a lot of gay guys have as far as like even like staffing bars with straight bartenders, you know. So for me personally speaking, I'm gonna say yes, queen. I'll say yes, queen. Yeah, you can work. Everybody needs to work.
Yeah, I don't feel. I guess I don't feel comfortable discriminating. If they're comfortable doing it,
right?
Now, if I were to find out that this person is saying homophobic shit when they leave, like, okay, you gotta go.
And what about you? As the straight man?
Well, obviously,
you've done this.
But I worked in that environment, you know, and so I'm like with Dwayne. I mean, hopefully you're there. Maybe it's not your cup of tea, but again, you're doing. Listen, I worked banquets and I worked a lot of Jewish weddings, and I love my Jewish friends, but I'm not a Jew. I don't celebrate bar mitzvahs or you know, a 13-year-old getting $1 million party.
I think that's kind of a different situation.
No, but you know, I'm just trying to find something that I can anchor on to you know. So if you're comfortable in that environment, you're not discriminatory, and you're hired to help out, and you know, welcoming, like you said, goes both ways. I'll give it a soft yeah. I would prefer if I'm throwing a gay party, if I'm gay, for everybody to be gay, but that's not realistic.
Yeah, of course,
but that's not realistic, you know.
I think if you're an ally, you're technically.
Yeah,
maybe not part of that.
But I know that's not realistic, and that's just in a dream world. If I was gay and I'm throwing a gay party, I mean,
everybody's gay.
You know, like a metal party. You want everybody to be a metalhead, right? I mean, you know, or a rap party. In a way, you want everybody, hopefully. But as long as the person isn't there, like you said, double-faced, I'm okay with it. You know, like I said, everybody needs to work.
Well, all right. That's the final one, and that was a... not a very enthusiastic queen for everybody, but it was a queen. And that wraps up our show, guys.
Enjoy Pride Week. When is Pride Day week? Where? Tell
actually, there's two prides in Los Angeles County. There's WeHo Pride, which is which is next weekend, and I think the weekend after that is Los Angeles Pride. So get your pride on. If you're in the Los Angeles area, be sure to go to either WeHo Pride or LA Pride, or both, if you are so inclined.
I'll bring my friends to that because, you know, they can smoke out there. They'll love it. All my European friends just love that whole kind of setting there. I guess you think it used to be better back in the day, that whole area. But I still think it's party time. I mean, I drive through it there. I think it's freaking awesome.
It's what it is now. And you know, go out with your friends and enjoy yourselves, and please be safe. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and drop comments in the comment sections for us. Share your ideas of topics that you'd like us to cover, any questions that you have, because we love to hear from you guys.
Who had the best outfit? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Leave it in the comments. You gotta come on, man.
Jim and the holograms.
I think you might win it. I think you might win it.
Yeah, the misfit.
You're too classy. Yeah. You're too proper. You're too beautiful.
Shut the fuck up. Someone's jealous.
I'm getting Olivia Newton-John.
What's wrong with that?
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.